There are files you were never supposed to see, hidden folders, locked drawers, entire archives sealed away under the label restricted, not because the information is worthless, but because it's too dangerous in the wrong hands. Inside these black files are techniques so powerful they can bend the will of others without them ever realizing. Tricks that governments, corporations, and elite manipulators use every single day to control behavior, drive desire, and shape society. But tonight, you're going to see what was meant to stay hidden. These are the Black File's secrets, the dark psychology tactics hidden from the masses. And once you learn them, you'll start seeing the invisible strings everywhere. The question is, will you use them to protect yourself or to control others? Pause, lean in, because once the Black Files are opened, there's no going back. Controlling perception. Most people think reality is fixed, that what they see is what's true. But here's the first Black File secret. Reality is negotiable because perception is programmable. Look around you. Why do certain people automatically command respect when they enter a room, while others fade into the background? It's not their height, their looks, or even their words. It's the way they control perception. Here's the trick. Scarcity of attention. Most people overshare. They explain too much, laugh too quickly, and talk to fill silence. But silence is power. When you pause before answering, when you speak slowly and deliberately, when you don't give away everything, people lean in. Their brains start working harder to fill in the blanks, which makes you appear mysterious and magnetic. Think of it this way. Diamonds are just rocks, but because they're rare, because they're hidden, because not everyone can touch them, they're priceless. Apply that same scarcity to your presence, and suddenly, people value you more. Now imagine if you could create that effect in every room you walk into. That's the first layer of the Black Files, planting invisible commands. The human brain runs on shortcuts, little tricks called cognitive biases. The manipulators in the Black Files don't argue, they don't force, they don't beg, they plant invisible commands. One of the deadliest, the illusion of truth effect. If you hear something enough times, your brain starts believing it, even if it's a lie. Think about ads. They don't tell you once that a product is the best. They hammer it into your brain until you stop questioning it. The Black File manipulators use this in conversation. They casually repeat phrases about themselves. I've always been calm under pressure. People usually trust me with decisions. I don't waste time with nonsense. Say it enough times, and people's subconscious accepts it as fact. They'll stop testing you. They'll start following you. But here's the darker twist. It's being used against you every single day by leaders, by media, by the people closest to you, and most never notice it's happening. Mini hook. But what if you could flip it? What if you could be the one planting the seeds? Desire, fear, and the trap of scarcity. Every human decision is pulled by two strings, desire and fear. The Black File shows how to weave both into a weapon. Scarcity is the most obvious. If people think something is limited, their brain assigns it more value. But the manipulator's twist is this. Don't just make things scarce, make yourself scarce. Instead of saying, I'm busy, say, I rarely make exceptions for this kind of thing. Now you're not just unavailable, you're a prize, a rare opportunity. But it gets darker. Scarcity mixed with fear creates obsession. If someone feels they might lose you, suddenly they'll fight to keep you. A slight withdrawal of attention, a pause in your usual availability, and they'll spiral into chasing your presence. This isn't a game of words, it's a game of nerves. The Black File call it controlled withdrawal. Pull back just enough to make your absence louder than your presence, and watch how people scramble to pull you closer. The moment someone starts chasing you, the game is already over. You've won. The Trapdoor Effect. Now we open the darkest page of the file, a tactic so subtle, most people walk into it willingly. It's called the Trapdoor Effect, and it works like this. If I ask you, do you want to help me? You can say yes or no. But if I ask, would you prefer to help me today or tomorrow? Your brain locks onto the options. Suddenly, you're choosing when to help, not if you'll help. That's the trapdoor, a false sense of choice. This technique is hidden in sales, in politics, even in personal relationships. The trick isn't to demand compliance, it's to disguise compliance as free will. Once someone steps through the trapdoor, they'll keep walking further, convincing themselves it was their choice all along. And here's the terrifying part. The more times they agree, the harder it becomes to stop, because their brain craves consistency. They've already said yes once, they'll say it again and again, till the manipulator owns them completely. The real danger? You've probably walked through dozens of trapdoors already and never realized it. Now the Black Files are open. You've seen how silence rewires perception, how repetition implants truth, how scarcity twists desire, and how trapdoors steal free will. But here's the decision you face. Do you close these files, pretend you never saw them, go back to being controlled? Or do you sharpen them into weapons, using them to protect yourself or to dominate the game? Most people will walk away. They'll forget. They'll go back to living under the invisible strings. But not you. Apply even one of these black file secrets, and you'll see the shift immediately. People leaning in when you speak. Opportunities chasing you instead of you chasing them. Doors opening that were once closed. Knowledge itself is neutral. It's what you do with it that decides whether you remain prey or rise as predator. Stay sharp, stay unpredictable, and I'll see you inside the next file.